Hi, DeSo. This is DeSo in the Eyes of Beholders. This is Matreshka.
This is Ready Player One.
And this is Lisa Mariette.
And welcome.
Welcome to Web3.
Yay. And so today's topic is going to be NFTs.
Woo.
Yeah.
So Luca, would you like to start by telling people about what NFTs actually are? Since I'm sure a lot of people watching us have no idea what it is.
Sure. The definition can is a little different depending on how technical you are, but essentially, so what's in the word NFT? Non-fungible token. So it's important to differentiate what's non-fungible and then what is fungible, right? So fungible token is, or anything that's fungible is something that can be represented, where one can be represented equally to another thing. So take $1. $1 is equal to $1 always. That's all they represent. They equal one unit of value. Same thing with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Well, that's a little more debatable, but yeah, think about that as a currency. one to one unit is always equal to another unit, right? That's a fungible unit of something or a fungible token. Then you got non-fungible tokens where you have something that's represented, but it's not necessarily equal to another non-fungible token. They're unique identifiers. So in terms of blockchains, what does this mean? It means that you have a unique hash or identifying token on the blockchain that points to whether it be an image or any number of things that we're going to get into that represents a link that you own that thing. It's a token just like Bitcoin that you can hold in a wallet. The most common NFTs are found on the Ethereum blockchain, but other blockchains host this too, like DeSo. What does a NFT on DeSo mean? It's essentially a post, any post that you make on DeSo with your profile, think of it like a Twitter post, can be turned into an NFT. What that does is it creates a unique, when you decide to turn it into NFT, it turns into a unique identifying token on the blockchain that can be traded between wallets, bought and sold or transferred. And same thing can be used to represent any number of things, a piece of art, maybe a ticket to a concert, maybe proof of ownership of a puppy.
Hey there. Now we have two dogs on the show.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a digital asset. It's like a representation of an asset.
Yeah. And it's got its own little unique piece of code, little address on the blockchain that can be tied to a specific wallet. So prove that you own that token and whatever it's pointing to represent, whether that be an image, like in the case of art NFTs or profile collectibles, or can represent a ticket, can represent any number of things, any number of assets that you would represent in the real world. You can use an NFT essentially to represent that on the blockchain. So pretty powerful idea. And we're going to get into some ways that you can flex that power in really useful, cool ways.
Yeah, we're going to get into some use cases, because the thing about NFTs is people go, okay, like what's an NFT? How do I get started? Can you explain NFTs? And how do I make money using NFTs? That's what everybody's kind of trying to figure out. And that's why we want today to talk about use cases for NFTs, because there's a lot. It goes beyond just digital assets or digital art, which is what most people think of. And there's a lot of different ways. So we're going to talk about some different ways to make money with NFTs and use cases. So, and speaking of NFTs, Matreshka, I heard that you sent some NFTs to space.
Yes, I did.
The Space Empress herself.
The Space Empress.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for addressing me as such. I really appreciate it. And yes, we did send the NFTs into space on Wednesday afternoon with Chase Steely and a few companies that he's working with. Subtractive, Nanorax, and Artemis Music Entertainment. Almost forgot them, one of the main ones. And it has been an absolutely incredible experience where our digital art, and I usually, to dumb down NFTs for people, I usually just refer to it as digital art if people have no idea what NFTs are. Although, like you said, Lisa, it's much more than that. But we were able to send art from more than 58 active creators on DeSo into space. And we sent it to International Space Station, where it was literally beamed as data using radio waves. It was beamed to International Space Station. It was received there and stored in a node locked into the airlock called the Bishop, and it was orbiting the Earth a few times before it actually was beamed back down and received back on Earth. And I was actually watching it as it was happening, as ISS was orbiting the Earth. We have a bot that lets you know where it is at any given moment. So I was watching as it was happening and messaging people like, Izzy, it's flying over Italy right now. I hope you're sleeping and seeing how those NFTs are flying over you right now, and stuff like this. And even my sister Maria, when I messaged them that it was flying on top of Russia, she was like, I looked in the sky, but I couldn't see anything. But it was daytime, and I understand that, it's possible that it was also very far from Moscow region where she is. But it has been an amazing experience because the idea behind this was to connect space and NFTs. And we got to meet space people. We met a couple of real life astronauts.
Wow.
Ron Garan, who lived for 6 months off International Space Station. And then the first Black woman who was navigating a spacecraft in space, Cheyenne Proctor, and they both were on the call, and we got to chat with them a little bit, and they shared about NFTs that they were sending and what inspires them about space and NFTs. And it has been an amazing event, and meeting people like this, it's so inspiring, because as a space empress, I do want to go to space and start a colony on Mars one day. So I need to meet more people who already went there so they can tell me what it's like, and what it's like living on the International Space Station with all the facilities or absent of facilities that we are used to and other things like this. So I absolutely love this experience, and it's just mind-blowing. And I just wanted to touch also on some of the artists that have been part of this amazing experience, because we had not just like regular artists, as you would imagine, but we also had children, and I hate calling them actually children because I think they're young adults who have submitted their art. We have Ava, who is the creator behind Clara Mouse, who has sent her Clara Mouse NFT to space. And she is a 12-year-old young adult. And I got to meet her on Chime In the other day when she was selling her, she had a collection of Clara Mouse where they were dancers, international dancers. So I got a Russian dancer, I got a Spanish, what's this dance called?
Flamenco.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. And some other. And then, she was featured in the local news, in the local newspaper, and then Yahoo News picked it up, and they did an article on her, which I think is absolutely incredible. And like, for your resume as an artist, it looks pretty cool. Starting so early and sending NFTs to International Space Station. And then, we have people from all around the world, from different parts of the world, participating in that. And I was just really, really honored to be able to share space with them. And I'm still receiving messages from them saying that thank you for being able to be part of that and be included in that, because they sent the NFTs to space, and it's mind-blowing, not just to me, but to them as well. And then I also have a physical NFT that was sent to me that finally made its way to me. That was one of the ones that was sent. It's from Maria Lallard, and it's DeSo Future Duck, and it's already in space. So, when DeSo gets to the moon as well, we'll meet them as well there.
Awesome.
And also hoping that the other life forms will have access to our NFTs. We'll look at them and they're like, what are those cloud cogs, Jesus, ducks, mouses, and the stallions? Oh, that one looks like me. Let's go check it out. And hopefully, we'll get to meet them and talk to them. So
Okay.
Been really crazy being able to be part of that, all because of NFTs.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on your first trip to outer space. First of
And
many.
there's a video, right?
Yes,
People
yes,
want to check
yes.
out.
Yep, there is a video, and I can actually put the link to the video under that video so everybody can see it as well.
Awesome. Well, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's been
yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying that it's been incredible. So whenever I talk about this, I'm still like trying to get through it. That my art went to space.
Well, it's a dream come true for you, right?
Yes, yes. First of many. Yes.
Yeah.
Next step, Matreshka into space.
The astronaut. Sorry, Space Empress.
Yes, yeah. But I'll need to be an astronaut to be that. So I'll have to be both.
Okay. I believe in you. You can do anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
All right. So should we start touching on some of the use cases for NFTs?
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to go through them or to just like open NFTs and
Well, let's just kind of go over to give people watching like an idea of what we're going to talk about, just to give like a quick overview, and then we'll kind of go more in depth. I don't know if we'll have time to go into all of them, so we'll see. So let me pull up the little list. So with NFTs, some of the different use cases are obviously digital art, as we've seen with things like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, and digital collectibles. So things like NBA Top Shots, right? It's like kind of the new trading cards. Also, you can purchase digital land. I'm sure you've been hearing about, I think it was it Snoop Dogg? He bought some digital land on one of the really popular platforms.
And
And then sorry?
in the
Sandbox.
sandbox.
On Sandbox, right? And then our very own Conchi has launched this week, and he's actually selling pieces of sky in Astro Nation. So you can purchase pieces of sky to build a starbase in the Astro Nation metaverse, which is really awesome. Matreshka, you should build a starbase and teach yoga classes there. That would be awesome.
Actually, we are pulling our funds together to do exactly that. Well, I wasn't thinking about doing yoga classes yet, but about building a star station there because it's a little more on the expensive side. And like me and Mr. Triplet and a couple of other people are pulling our funds together to purchase that and be part of this amazing initiative because we would love to be part of that.
Yeah, no, Conchi is awesome, and Astro Nation is an amazing project, and we should definitely all support him. So I thought this was actually really funny when I was kind of looking at this list. There's now virtual real estate agents, which I think it's hilarious, but we can talk about that later. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but a few weeks ago, I saw there was a woman who she put her house on sale, and she was actually selling the deed as an NFT. So it's not just digital real estate, but actual physical real estate is being sold as NFTs. Because again, NFTs are about ownership. So anything that you can own, whether it's digital, and even physical, the possibility exists to create an NFT. There's also content vaults for creators to sort of give access to your fans. There's ticketing. There have been people giving concerts selling NFTs. Also, Snoop Dogg, I saw this yesterday in the news, he's about to start a NFT, or he's turning his record label into an NFT record label. And that also goes into music ownership. You can sell products and services as NFTs. You can have subscriptions. You can have membership to clubs. You can have DAOs, which is another term that people may not be super familiar with, but those are basically groups of owners of this NFT if they want to do something. For example, Links DAO. So Chris Mattern, who's on DeSo with us, and on some other platforms, he's really into Links DAO, which is the members are going to get together and build a golf course. There's crowdfunding, there's raising money for charity, there's gaming, which is a whole, I don't know a ton about gaming, so maybe if you guys know more than I do, you can touch on that. And then as you were saying earlier, Luca, your social media posts, anything that you post, let's say you post something really brilliant, you can mint it as an NFT. And on DeSo, the thing that's great is that the gas fees are so low, it's like fractions of a penny, whereas on other platforms, it's $100 just to post, which is ridiculous. or just, sorry,
Ridiculous.
just to mint. But no, DeSo, you can
Yeah.
do that. So, or if you publish and write blog posts, if you upload videos like this one. And then Matreshka, what were you saying about paying speeding ticket fines?
So I just listened to Mark Bentley and he shared this. So a while ago, if you don't know Mark Bentley, first of all, go and follow him. But he was one of the first people to get the BitCloud tattoo logo on his wrist and a BitCloud license plate for his car.
Yes.
And then when he got the speeding ticket, then the police received the thing saying that the BitCloud license plate was speeding. So he was thinking of this as, first of all, like a subtle way to introduce DeSo to people, or BitCloud. And then what he did, took the speeding ticket, he made an NFT out of this, he sold it, and he used this money to pay the fee.
Brilliant.
Which was
Crowdfunding.
brilliant. Absolutely
Yes.
brilliant. And it also shows you that you can literally use absolutely anything. You just need to be
Yeah.
creative and what to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can use it for things like that. I remember Amina, she had somebody sort of, well, I won't go into it, but basically we fundraised for her to help her cover some issues that she was having. We did fundraising for, I forget who it was, somebody was doing fundraising for COVID relief. So there's a lot of different topics. So which one would you like to dive into first about use cases for NFTs, monetizing NFTs? How would you like to do that? What do you guys think?
Let's maybe talk about monetizing, because I know that a lot of people are interested in how you can make money doing NFTs, especially if you're not necessarily an artist in the way that you paint or you draw something.
Mhm.
And maybe a good example would be to show some of my NFTs and demonstrate to you how people are making money through NFTs, even though they're not artists, and give you some of the examples on how it is possible to do that.
Let's do it.
Let's
All
do
right.
it. Let's go.
I'm going to share my screen with you all. Okay, here's NFTZ, my nftz.zone. It's also one of the apps that makes it really easy to display all the NFTs for you and to see everything in one space. And we'll just go through some of them and talk about them. So this is one of the first one this is actually about actual artists. So I showed you earlier the actual pictures that I have, and the artist is selling NFT, just a image of the actual art that they're doing, and they're sending an actual art to you in mail. You can see 2 more of those ducks, which all 3 I received in my mail the other day. And that's how they make money. But that's about actual artists who are like painting and drawing. This beautiful thing over here is an NFT of a candle. I don't know if you can actually see that it's a candle. It looks like such a beautiful rose, but this is what I received in mail. Can you see me on the screen right now in the small thing? Next to the,
I can
you
see you,
should be
but I
able
don't
to
know
see.
if it's recording to show us.
Okay, let me go back to Zoom and show you this, because it's really super, super awesome. So this is an actual candle that I have received. They're made with so much love and so much care to detail that you can see how absolutely stunning they are. Jules makes them by hand, and they come in a little white pouch like this, which looks super, super cute. And like just everything is made with so much love. You can see it in everything she does. So she's selling candles. So what she does is she does an NFT, and when you buy an NFT, you get an actual physical candle sent to you. And this is another way how you can monetize your own business or what you're doing. And I'm gonna screen share again and show you some of the other things here it is, sorry, what you can do. So this one, Superpowers 004, it just says this and you have no idea what it is. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It literally gives me superpowers and actually allows me to own a property on Chime. Chime is a blockchain hangout space, kind of like a clubhouse for DeSo. And this specific NFT makes me the owner of building number 4 and admin and moderator, which means that I can have all my events in there and I can moderate and do whatever I want in there.
And then did I see that did you give that power to Clara Mouse for
Yes,
a while and
yes,
then get it
yep.
back?
Yes, that's what you can see. You can see previous owner Clara Mouse right here and current Matreshka. I gave it to Nathan and Ava for the event that they were hosting, selling international dancers. And then they gave the superpowers back to me, and they took really good care of it. They didn't do anything with it, so
So
it's all good.
would it work?
Matreshka, oh,
Yes.
do
Would
you,
it
do you
work
want
right
to,
now?
Sorry, Luca, say it again. I couldn't hear you.
Would it work right now if you took us to chime in? Like, would you be able to show us your building?
It should. Let's check it out. Okay,
and I wanted to
let's go
mention,
to chime in.
can you click on it as well? Because it has like the 5%, 10%, and you can also maybe explain that as well for people who are like, what does this mean?
Okay, so yeah, you can see that a holder gets 10% and a creator gets 5%. So
Yeah.
what it means, when you mint an NFT, you have different parameters that you can add. And one of them, and one of the beauties of NFT and why people should support NFT artists, is that a holder of your coin can get a certain percent from the sale of this NFT. So when I sell an NFT, 10% of whatever I will receive as an income for that will go to my coin holders. And then me as a creator will receive 5% on the secondary sale of that. Luca, did I say it right? I'm sometimes get confused about this.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. So on the primary sale, when Yazin sold this to you, he got 90% of the sale plus the 5% as the creator to himself in his wallet as DeSo. And then 10% of the sale from the purchaser goes into the coin, into the chime in coin. And any holders of chime in see the value of their holdings go up a little bit because there's a little more in the pool for the coin holders. It's not a direct like, oh, the coin holders get DeSo in their wallet as well. It just makes their coin holdings, so long as nobody else sells, a little more valuable, which is pretty cool. And it's really nice that it's baked into the protocol, the DeSo protocol on Ethereum and other chains. You need smart contracts in order to apply royalties. It doesn't come baked into the NFT token standards. So that's kind of a nice, from a user perspective and an artist perspective, you don't need to find a Solidity developer engineer on DeSo in order to implement royalties on your NFT sales in perpetuity. So like I said, that I described the primary sale, then the secondary, say you were to sell your superpower to someone else, then you would get that 90%, or sorry, did I say 90? I meant 80% or 85%. You'd get 85% as the seller directly into your wallet. The creator, so Yazin, the chime in, they would still get 5% on that secondary sale. So he made 90% on the primary sale, 90% of the sale went straight to his wallet. Now on any secondary sale, he's getting 5% of any of that sale. So that's a continuous secondary sale kickback to the creator, because historically artists don't get the value out of their work that and it ends up blowing up in the art markets. There's great documentaries on this if you want to go look on how the art market exploded in the 70s and 80s for like contemporary artists, and a lot of those artists stayed relatively poor and not seeing the gains of their work that are getting sold for these crazy prices on the art market. Well, this is a encoded way to kind of ensure that for perpetuity, no matter how popular and how ridiculous the sales of their art get, or whatever the NFT represents, that original creator is going to get a percentage of it, which is really, 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 really cool, and a really different way, paradigm shifting way of transacting and getting value back to the creators of all the content and culture that we consume as society. It's a long-winded way of saying, like,
well, I think also too, it's really nice that it's not just for artists. So yes, absolutely. If an artist sells something once, they make the money the first time. With NFTs, it's not like that. They make recurring revenue, recurring income on every sale, which is amazing. But it's also for other things as well. So if you buy something that's not a piece of art, if you buy, I don't know, I'm blanking on examples, but regardless of what it is, you get recurring revenue until the end of time, because right, blockchain is forever. And it's a really nice way to have if you can build up a passive income stream. What I'm trying to say is that using NFTs, you can build up a passive income revenue stream, and you don't even have to be an artist. Or you can find an artist that you really like, purchase the NFT, and then if it gets sold and resold on the secondary market, that's more passive income for you, which is amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And for the chime in, look, I don't think we should go in there because I'm not sure how it will work with audio, being both on Zoom and chime in.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
we'll probably have to like test it out before we do it. But this is another example of the NFT. It's a night mode NFT. So whenever I go to chime in, because I own this NFT, chime in turns, instead of being light colored building, to a night mode, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, Alex Velatis used it, Caleb, Robert, Hannah, and some other people.
Does that happen automatically when you sign in?
Yes, that happens automatically. So you just purchase it once, and then you always have the dark mode, which are my personal preference, as well as some other people. And yeah,
that's another cool part about it, is your NFTs and your creator coins or whatever stay with you across apps that you sign into, as long as it's on the same chain. So yeah, you're viewing your NFTs here from nftz.zone. If you sign in with your same profile with identity on Chime In, it's going to be able to read which NFTs you own, same ones we're looking at here, and be able to see, oh yeah, you own the dark mode NFT. So what's this one you're showing us here?
Yeah, so this one is actually a ticket. It's a ticket stub. It's for some reason okay, here it's show the actual full stub. So this was a ticket for Nacho Average tour in San Diego with Clay Perry and Tropics and a few other artists. And you can see, the section seat, the date, and the VIP access that I had
Section
for the third floor.
69, row 420.
Yeah, seat 888. Those are just made up with the funny numbers, but they can actually be the actual rows and seats, because you can sell tickets for anything. And we were actually showing NFTs to get access to the music box. That was the name of the venue in San Diego, and it was pretty cool. And being with people, talking with people about like how it is that we are not using regular tickets, but using that, it was pretty awesome way to also introduce them to NFTs as well. And then of course
Well, and
sorry,
also you can use it not just for ticketing, but also to like buy products, to buy services, like a boat.
And that's what, yeah. Well, in this particular case, you're not buying the boat, you're buying the access to be on the boat at the party. But yes, you can actually absolutely sell the boat as well as an NFT. Just put it as an NFT, put the price, and then people can buy it, and then they can have party on that. So yeah. And then of course we have a lot of like raffle tickets, like you see right here, naming right. You can actually get buying this one, you can tell the artist the name of the next.
At least
they were working on monsters.
The screen's not sharing anymore.
Matreshka, your screen's not showing anymore.
Ooh, what's happening? Oh yes, it said it ended unexpectedly. Okay, let's try again. Hopefully it will allow me to share content. Yes, please. Even the best devices like Apple sometimes act up, so sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, let's
do some editing back in.
So this is the monster naming right. So buying this NFT allows you to actually participate in creation of NFT, and the artist, I gave her the name Mastreshka because she was doing a monsters, and I wanted it to be Mastreshka, and she created an absolutely amazing NFT that I later bought that was called Mastreshka. And you can be part of creation and part of participating in what other artists are doing, which is also pretty sweet, I think. So I'm seeing what other interesting NFTs I have. You probably, of course, are all familiar with this one. That was the 20 questions for Diamond Hands, where you were actually buying the right to ask any question to Diamond Hands, who we now know is Nether. And Dr. Kate Cohen had a dinner with him also through NFT. And then she sold NFTs where you can ask any questions to him. And you have to understand, we had no communication with Nether back in the day. And so a chance to actually ask the creator
Do we now?
any questions. Sorry, say it again?
So do we now?
We have more options to communicate with him now. And, he comes to Discords and other things, and you can DM him. And yes. So what are some other NFTs that we wanted to show?
Matreshka, going back to Phil's, that was a really interesting use case for NFTs. It wasn't a way to earn money, but it was a way to do fundraising. So it's not a traditional way of, I want to exchange this product or service for money, but something really interesting that Phil did. I don't know if you saw it was like the moon NFT that you had. Phil,
yes.
Yeah. So Phil, what he does is he does sort of photography of, oh, we lost Luca. Hope he comes back. But we have photography of the stars. And so he needed a special telescope to take those photos. And so what he did was he created a fundraiser to do that. And he did it through DeSo, and it was his DeSo telescope.
Yes, and he ended up getting this telescope, and he's now able to show us the moon in real life. And at the next NFTs to Space, this time there was storm on top of UK as we were having the event, so he was not able to show us ISS. But normally he can actually, from his telescope, have a live view of ISS as it is orbiting around the Earth with our NFTs on board. Like, we have our own person who can show us this, which is, to me, is also absolutely incredible, especially considering the fact that he was only able to get this telescope because of people, supporting him and buying NFTs, and he got the money and he got the telescope, which is absolutely amazing way to do about this. And another thing that we mentioned but didn't show you yet is like saving the survivors. Like Lisa Lavender, she's doing an amazing job with doing the charity where they are using the money that they receive from the sale of NFTs to actually save rhinos in South Africa. They're using the Sputniki, what do they call them in English? I forgot this word in English. The thing in the sky that can track stuff. Satellites. Thank you. Yeah, so they're using satellites to track rhinos, and if they're wounded or stuff, they can actually come and help them. And she was just sharing today that, in regular situations, they would not be able to come and help them because the only way to do it would be using a helicopter, which is extremely expensive. And by the time we'll get money to get a helicopter, like, the rhino would be dead. So, there are so many wonderful opportunities how you can use NFTs in a very, very different creative ways to earn money, no matter what you do. Like, people who are writers, I know they can sell NFTs, or they, like Nirvana, she sold her book as an NFT, and you can do that instead of going on Amazon or somewhere else and trying to figure it all out. You can just sell it as NFT, and that's the same thing, and that's your revenue right there. And if you're in any,
you don't need to rely on a middleman or woman or a publisher. Like, it's all woven in there. Like, it's part of the code. You're meant to be able to.
Yeah.
So
you
that's
can and self-published and sell the book as an NFT.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are so many ways how you can monetize and create NFTs out of pretty much anything. And I know you, Lisa, you were actually selling NFTs for the wellness class. So that,
Yes,
you know,
I
people,
did.
would you mind talking a little bit about this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so a while back I did I was on Clout Forum. I got interviewed on Clout Forum on the Who's Got Clout. And as part of the interview, I did a giveaway. So normally, obviously, I'm a consultant and I do, you know, meditation classes. So obviously, normally I charge for my sessions. And for me, as a service provider, this is actually a really interesting thing for me because, for example, on Createers, you can create a package and sell your package. So just like on Fiverr or a place like that, you can actually create a package and just sell it. So for example, an hour of my time is worth X amount of DeSo. So I sold a, I want to say it was like a life purpose coaching session, because that's part of what I do. I'm a spiritual teacher and I help people find and live their purpose. It's like, it's very important to do that. But yeah, that's what I did. So, and I'll be doing it as well with my business consulting, because you don't have to be limited to fiat, so dollars or euros. You can use cryptocurrency to receive payment for products and for services. And as a service provider, as a consultant, I absolutely will be really happy to mint a package or to mint like a voucher for a session and then just sell my services that way. And again, you cut out the middleman. I don't have to pay 3% because if people purchase it through my website, I have to pay 3% to Stripe right now. But if they do it through DeSo, nobody has to pay
Oh, it's
anything to
all
Stripe.
you.
It's just, yeah, it's just directly, so I don't have to have a payment processor, which is really nice.
Yes, that's true. And it's also so easy to navigate. Like as a yoga teacher, I can, you know, sell an NFT and
Yeah.
then include in the unlockable content the link to the Zoom class so that you can just join it, you know. And
Yeah.
it's so easy. It's just like 2 clicks, it's done. It's easy. You don't need to depend on anybody
Yep.
on, you know, and especially like you said with money, like you don't have to pay percentage to anybody if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And on D, so it's super easy. So anybody can do it.
Also,
Yeah.
too, if you host paid workshops, I tried to do a paid workshop a while ago, but nobody bought my ticket, but that's okay. Once we get a lot of daily active users,
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be an audience for workshops. But yeah, you can also, if you have a workshop that you do that's like a paid workshop or like a virtual event or a virtual training even, and normally you charge, again, it's ticketing. So you can do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And same deal with like I think one of the topics we mentioned at the beginning was content vaults for creators, or like if you think about
Yes.
Patreon style model, where maybe you pay a monthly or like a premium subscription on Twitch or on YouTube. You pay a monthly fee. Maybe you're buying a monthly NFT pass, or maybe you're buying some of their creator coin monthly. Just a monthly recurring revenue stream that gets you access, that gets the content creator monthly revenue, and you get access to premium content that maybe isn't on chain or is stored behind unlockable content. That's a really powerful model too. I know one team that's working on that right now is Agora Labs, Charles Vaughn. They're splitting out not just on DeSo, they're trying to bring other people from the Web3 space and kind of bring them in on their chains, but also introduce them to DeSo at the same time, and the power of being a creator on DeSo. So yeah, they're a good team to follow on DeSo and on Twitter. That's Agora Labs.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's really
And
powerful.
I was actually, you know, thinking for a while of starting releasing some content that can be different. Like, for example, I was asked to write a few co-ops with for Beats Today, but I didn't publish all of them. They published a couple, but they didn't publish the most spicy ones. So, you know, I was thinking of maybe, you know, I'm gonna either do the subscription and share it only with people who will be able to attend this event who will pay for the subscription or just sell an NFT, and as an unlockable content, they will get this content inside that was too hot for ASG.
So you have a paywall for your spicy content. Is that what I'm hearing?
I might create a paywall for my spicy content.
An astronaut
And that was
fantasy,
spicy event
perhaps.
that was happening at the DeSo event. So I know that DeSo people are probably want to know the hot gossip of those things.
Matreshka after dark.
Which would make sense to make it chime in with my dark theme in there.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, how funny.
Or Confessions of Matreshka. That's the name I was playing with around.
I like that as well. The Matreshka Confessions.
Tying into the NFT art, and as NFTs as art and also as collectibles, we'd be remiss to not mention some of the most popular NFT creators and collections on DeSo.
And apps.
As far as collections, the ones that come to mind, and if I was more prepared, I would have their actual stats, but we just based on volume and DeSo earned, Clout Punks, they're the OGs, right? They've got the OG collection of, and inspired by CryptoPunks in a sense, but also very different, very unique. We got some of our generative mints, which that's huge on the Ethereum space. So it makes sense that the first ones here on DeSo would also be very popular. We have the Spookies, created by Jack and Mubs and that whole team. We got the Rowdy Reptilians by Chris Illuminati, Octoposse, Matt Hope and that whole team. And the devs behind those two, Mubs, Mubashar Iqbal, for Spookies and Pixel Pirates, and Chixos.
And Smart Alec for Octoposse, Rowdy Reptilians, and Nesting Dolls coming soon, the generative series. We only have so far the hand-drawn ones. Yeah. Smart Alec have been really amazing at helping it and making it possible for people who have no idea how to do generative art. Now you can just come to Mubs Mubs is super busy. I mean, they're both busy, but you can still come to them. They're very kind people and they will still respond to you and tell them, hey, I want to do that. And they have all the tools that, they need to do it. And you just do your artistic side. And you were also mentioning the Clout Punks, and they were, I believe, the very first NFT project on BitCloud, if I'm not mistaken. And they also had, except for generative, they had a system where if you buy $100 worth of their coin, they do a personalized portrait for you. So they did one for me, and I just sent them a picture of me in a crown, and they did a variation of that, which I also sent to Space. And you could have your personalized PFP, which is profile picture, and have them do it specifically for you based on what you want. And then you can also gift it to other people if you want to have a gift for Nader for his birthday, which was a few days ago, and you want to
happy birthday,
gift
Nader.
him an NFT. Yes, happy birthday. Hoping you're enjoying your day off. Hopefully you're having a day off.
Take a day off, Nader.
But then you can enjoy
time with your wife, your family.
And then we will be back here when you get back. I promise you.
the world will keep spinning. You can take time off.
But if you want to give him as a gift, his personal profile picture, you can order it and then give it as a gift, transferring NFT to him easily, also with one click, also available on most of the nodes. So yeah, that's another cool thing about CloudPunks that I wanted to mention.
And why are these collections so popular? I'd say one part is the art itself. People always congregate, art is culture, and the culture, that it influences the culture a lot. So people gravitate around, very identifiable collections and being a part of the culture, right? The other thing is the generative part, not knowing what you're going to get until you buy it. People love that gamification of it, seeing which rarities they're going to get. And there's a whole secondary market that plays out on that. 3 is like, yeah, since they're part of this collection and it's got the traits, there's this whole collectibles trading aspect of it. It feels like trading cards. It feels like you're trying to get the shiniest, rarest one. And also the longer tail interest in it is usually the artist behind it will come out with a longer roadmap, not just the profile picture itself, but maybe you're getting a 3D representation of that character in some metaverse world, or there's some game coming out, or they are going to host an in-person event and only people who hold this NFT
will be able to attend.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
And that's that.
thing
Sorry,
out.
go ahead.
Exclusivity of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's that membership to a club from owning an NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all those factors lead. So that's why.
And hype. We have to mention hype.
Yeah.
Hype is overrated.
It is, but also it is a big part. I think we can all agree that it is a big part of NFTs because a lot of people start getting concentrated in where the hype is. So that's
Hype
definitely
Hype is gross.
and
Just
the
be normal.
communities as well. The last part that I think unites NFTs is having the communities, and the biggest community that we want, the most active community that we have on DeSo would be definitely Cloud Cox. I think they have like the most massive, the most active community. So it's quickly became one of the most favorite projects of everybody on DeSo, and Cloud Cox rule. I love them.
Yeah, I like those too. They're really fun. They're really creative.
Yeah. And let's touch base on the few apps that we have before we close out. So we have a few that are very, very into NFTs and NFTs dedicated to NFTs. The first one is NFTZ, nftz.zone, and I absolutely love them. Brian and Ed Krasenstein, the co-founders, the Van Halen brothers are the people who are actually making it happen, and they're absolutely amazing. As of right now, like if you're asking them to add any feature, pretty much they will try to incorporate it because they're still building it. They are rolling out nftz.zone version 2 in about a week or so, and I have been able to see the preview of that, and I love it. From the gradient color scheme, which I am very partial to gradient color schemes.
You are.
It's just visually appealing to me.
Matreshka has never met a gradient she didn't like.
Yes, I'm still yet to meet the gradient I wouldn't like. And to like all the features that they're adding in the second release, it's going to be pretty amazing, including all the traits that you can like easily see on the side, and you can like search by the traits and do everything, which for people who are collected based on this and trying to find the most shiniest, rarest NFT, which specifically has like an earring in the right ear, or whatever it is that you're looking for. It makes it super easy to find it. So that's one of my favorites, and actually to go to places for NFTs right now. And then the next one is super.
Matreshka, I just want to touch on something that you said.
Sure.
So one of the many amazing things about decentralized social is something that you mentioned when you were talking about NFTZ, which is that they are building with the users.
Yes.
And centralized platforms don't do that. Centralized platforms make the decision from up on high. We're gonna spy on your WhatsApp conversations, whether you like it or not, for example, and then show you ads, right? Because your data. Sorry, I feel very strongly about this, as anybody who talks to me knows. But with decentralized, the node owners, so when you go to nftz.zone, Ed and Brian and the Van Halen brothers.
I know, I said it and I'm like, that sounds
like rock and roll. But the thing that's really cool is that you don't have dark mode. Guys, we need dark mode. Our eyes are burning. And then they code it and they build with you. They design the product with you based on user experience, based on community. And that's really how you create successful products is you say, well, what do you want? Okay, let's build it with you. And I think that's really exciting.
It is. And
that's
go ahead, Luca.
that's actually a good transition to another product another app we're gonna show, which is Supernovas, which they are kind of a more traditionally like Diamond and BitCloud in the sense that they show social posts mainly, but they really work one-on-one with a lot of the creators on like artists, typically visual artists, but also music artists, all kinds of writers. But the team works really closely with them to get them comfortable with using DeSo, with minting on this platform. And also they have a verification process. So their list of verified users is much different than what you'd find
Different, yeah.
That's another thing about decentralized social is each node can decide who they find to be legit or verified based on different qualifications. Might get a little confusing in the long run if you're like, wait, is this the same account? They have a check here and a star here. Anyways, but long run. But something that Supernovas is doing is they've been really good at taking user feedback and responding to that, but they're taking it a step further, and they're going to be launching. We don't have many details yet, but Supernovas DAO, where yeah, this is one of the most exciting things I'm looking forward to in the DeSo ecosystem in the next couple months. So they've been teasing the tokenomics of it too, but essentially both creators and collectors of NFTs on DeSo and potentially other chains are going to have direct input through token ownership on how the Supernovas platform develops over time. Waiting to see more details on how exactly that plays out, but that just goes to show you how different it is, how
Centralized.
and how users and creators and builders actually are going to become more and more intertwined.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things that I know Supernovas is building, which is a huge part of where we are, is interoperability, because they're building bridges so that they would be not just on DeSo, but it would be on ETH and Solana and on other places. And that's beautiful because right now we don't have those bridges yet. So we are limited to doing it just on DeSo. There is like, if you have your NFT in DeSo wallet, you cannot easily send it to your ETH wallet or somewhere else. So they're building that, which I think would be absolutely amazing for everybody, because it will also help unite the communities from OpenSea and all the other places with DeSo people. And I'm very, very much looking forward to. We have Meredith Marson, who is doing it by herself. She's doing NFTs on both ETH, Solana, and DeSo, on thrice, on all three of them. Not even sure how to say it correctly in English. And seeing the app that's dedicated to NFTs that is actually also doing it is very exciting, because it would also bring much more exposure to everybody involved, because it just makes it so much easier for everybody to do that.
And we'll link to NFTZ and Supernovas in the description. They each have their own DeSo page. They each have their own site that you can access with your DeSo identity, which is really nice. Same login, depending, no matter whether you're on Diamond or NFTZ or Supernovas. It's all the same hose of data. You just got to log in with your same profile.
And there's also Wallow, right, by Mubs?
Yeah.
The wallet.
Yeah, so that's really cool. It's a mobile wallet and viewing app for your NFTs. It really puts it in a nice, beautiful, easy to look at fashion, and also gives you stats about prices, how collections have been selling and things like that. And Mubs always does really, really awesome work. It's one of the 20 amazing projects he's brought to the DeSo ecosystem. I know a lot of people like Spunk Art, who's a huge NFT collector, really appreciate it. And for now, it's in a closed beta right now. You have to buy an NFT to get a pass to the beta, another use case for NFTs. But fairly soon, I think he has plans to open it up to the general DeSo public for using. Yeah, have either of you gotten to use Wallow or?
I actually don't have a wallet, because you have to buy to buy it.
Yeah.
And in the moment when he released, I was a little DeSo poor, so didn't have the funds to easily spend on that. I think it was like $100 or something like that, which
for the collectors to kind of like people who are trading NFTs any days, just for them to beta test and give them feedback. I think that was more the target for now, but I think it'll be useful for everybody once it's.
Yeah, absolutely. And for, like you said, for big collectors, and we have quite a few of this, and Spunk Art Cullen is like one of the biggest one. When I opened his collection for the first time, I was like, he has like 450 NFTs, and it's just like, wow. He's one of the biggest supporters of all the artists on the platform. So huge shout out to you, Colin.
Be telling us they'd be probably yelling at all the teams like, we need ways to sort this. Like my brain's going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was hard. I was trying to find an NFT, and it was so many that it was really hard to do it. So having those things definitely helps. And I know there is also Polygram that I'm not very familiar with. Luca, would you mind to share a little bit about that?
Sure. I think you can think of them as a marketplace, another marketplace for NFTs that highlights the NFTs on DeSo prominently. It's very visually beautiful. I would say it doesn't have the full functionality that NFTZ does. I think like the hardcore collectors do prefer to use NFTZ to actually transact. But as far as like actually looking at your collection and viewing collections you might want to be get exposure to, there's really no more visually beautiful way to do it than through polygram.cc. And so the builder of that is Jack Lee. Is actually the guy who created the first generative mint on minted collection on DeSo, which was the Spookies. Technically, that's not true. Mubs did with the Chixel, but that was the test run for Spookies.
Okay.
Get it right, Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the team behind BitHunt as well.
Don't be spreading no NFT lies.
Yeah.
About
blockchain lasts forever.
Especially.
Yeah, blockchain don't.
Blockchain never lies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what Polygram is about. It's just like, yeah, you can go see for yourself. It's really visually beautiful. It's a little simplified, pared down version, I'd say, of NFTZ. NFTZ is like you get full functionality of the DeSo NFT ecosystem. One thing that we forgot to mention is with the royalties is they've introduced splits now. So now encoded on chain, multiple creators can collaborate on an NFT and respectively get royalties on secondary sales in perpetuity. So say Mercury, I know, has worked with some visual artists to do like music videos for his music. And he's talked about he would love to mint those on DeSo, but until there's a trustless way that he could
split it, easily.
Yeah. And now that that's here, I think that's going to open up a lot for artists as well.
Yeah, and I did a couple of collaborations with Kitty4D and Extinct and Wolfie Photos for NFTs to Space and Women's Gallery. And it was so easy now because, now you just press the button and once it's sold, it will automatically go to their wallet. Before that, people had to actually like agree beforehand and hope that everybody will honor the agreement and, then remember to actually send it. And now it's just like click, you programmed it in there, that's it, it's happening for you. You don't need to think about this anymore, which is absolutely beautiful.
Well, good.
Guys, do you have any closing thoughts that you would like to share about NFTs or anything else we have touched on today?
Just that on DeSo, it's very early days in the use cases and potential utility for NFTs. One, because we have so few users right now, there's just only so many people at a time that can be experimenting, right? And only so many people out of that group that are going to find success. So I encourage people who haven't tried yet or just exploring what are NFTs about, especially on DeSo. Yeah, use this time to experiment, find out what's interesting, what's not, what is the market like, what don't they like, push the boundaries, because now's the time to do that. Or start experimenting on that. So when we do have more, when we do have more users, they've got some cool stuff to play around with already, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just remembered one of the fun things that I got as unlockable content. I bought an NFT from Chat, a photography NFT of a birthing cave in Arizona. And as unlockable content, I got myself, what are they called? Ray-Ban glasses. I lost them 2 weeks later in San Diego because I decided to swim in them. But yeah, you know, the you can include whatever you want, and that's what makes it interesting, because it's up to your imagination. And if your imagination is not that great, come chat with other people and they will help you to come up with ideas, because in collaborating and in experimenting together, that's how a lot of things were born. You know, if Mark Bentley didn't think of, you know, oh, I have BitCloud, you know, license plates, how we can use it, then we would never thought of, you know, that you can sell a speeding ticket and then cover with that money, cover the fee or stuff like this. So I absolutely love that more and more ideas are coming together than people are coming together. So definitely get in and chat with DeSo folks and with us about NFTs. You can find us on DeSo. I'll put the links under the video so you can follow all of us. Make sure to give us a follow and come say hi, to introduce yourself so you know that you joined us, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you have any questions about NFTs, just leave them in the comments and be sure to subscribe to Matreshka's channel.
Yes.